I wanted to start this out because I asked the IBT team, our entertainment team, for some hot takes, and one jumped out to me right away. And someone said that Timothy Chalamet is on a goaded trajectory as far as actors go. The likes among the names like Leo DiCaprio and Marlon Brando, and that just set me on like fire when I heard it. My question is to the two of you: do you think Timothy Chalamet is on that level? Thank you, Seth. By the way, that is a absolutely banger drop. I agree. Do you guys think Timmy is is that dude? You think he would put him in the name in with Leo and Marlon Brando and guys like that? Jake, why don't
I
you kick
think
us off?
I think in 10 years we are.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, so you look at how quickly he kind of came onto the scene. Like, obviously, it wasn't quick. He's been acting since the late 2000s, early 2010s in TV shows and whatnot. He's done theater productions, but so he starts ending up in films. He's in Interstellar. It continues on. You get Hot Summer Nights, which was good. Lady Bird. You keep it going. You get The King. You get Dune, and then he gets Wonka. Dune continues to kill it. He absolutely kills it as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown. We're getting him in Marty Supreme in a Josh Safdie movie coming up here soon. Like I struggle to see a world where he isn't kind of in that echelon in 10 years. Like the trajectory is there.
I don't see it in Timothy Chalamet. Here's what I'll say about Timothy Chalamet. I think he is a great actor. I think he's a great indie film actor, though. I don't love him in blockbusters. Every single time he's in a blockbuster, I feel like he's the odd man out. He's just like this weird, like, standout amongst like all these people who are very good at blockbuster. Like in Wonka, Wonka was not it. That was a swing and a miss. I think overall. I don't love Timothy Chalamet when he's in something that he has to be big. I don't think that's what he does well. I think there are some actors that, we've talked about it plenty of times on the show that do something. Um, I can't believe Seth has seen Hot Summer Nights. Like he just interrupted my point with this insane comment, and I'm just like sitting here. I'm like, what on earth? Like on my bingo card of things that Seth would have seen, this would have never popped up. I could have listed 10,000 movies I thought he saw before Hot Summer Night. Um, Although Seth watched like Snack Shack, which I had watched on a plane flying back from London, like
Heater.
sobbing the entire time. Sobbed like at the end of that movie, like crazy. And Seth's like, "Have you ever seen Snack Shack?" I was like, "What a weird pull." But anyway, Timothy Chalamet is in that list of actors that does something impeccably well, but it doesn't translate to other things. Like it's like the Tom Holland effect. Tom Holland is incredibly good at crying. He is one of the most convincing criers I've ever seen in my life. Like it's absolutely heartbreaking every single time that dude decides to shed tears. Anything beyond that, I think he's fine. He does a decent enough job, but it's whatever. Timothy Chalamet to me plays soft boys really, really well. I think he does that particularly well. Beautiful Boy, I thought he was really good in, right? Like that's obviously a different take. He's like an addict, but he's still playing like a soft boy that has become a drug addict, right? I, I just don't see that like even as like Paul Atreides, right? Like he gives this big, massive speech, but it's really amped up with like all this music and extra sound and all this stuff. And they had to make him bigger, right? Like they had to boost him to give him that gravitas. Trash, am I off base here? Am I just totally off kilter?
Well, so here's the thing. You're not wrong. And I had this light bulb moment partway through because you're not wrong that he is that like soft boy, sad boy energy. Like he does lend himself much better to some of those indie flicks. However, I think it's that he's on the legendary trajectory. He's not yet there. He's on his way there. And the light bulb moment for me was I thought back, and in particular, I thought about Leo, and I was like,
Yep.
what were Leo's first big films? It was Romeo and Juliet and Titanic and other like soft boy
Now You See
films.
Me, or not
And
Now You
he
See Me, but Can You Catch
you
Me?
see me
Catch
Catch
Me
me
If You
if you
Can,
can.
whatever the hell it's
catch me
called.
if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, and now he then like later he gets into the like Wolf of Wall Street, like those
Mm.
kinds of roles.
But I
And
think by the
I
time he was
think
Timmy's age, wasn't he doing some like The Departed by the time he hit Timothy Chalamet's age?
maybe,
I
but I think Timothée Chalamet is already like kind of my parents know who he is, and like I'll just say that means something. Like if middle-aged parents know who he is. That's
I don't
like
think he's on a bad trajectory at all. I just would hesitate, and I kinda don't put Leo quite in that category of, like, the greatest of all time, but I do think he's great.
give more Oscars.
Like, I think when I say the greatest actors of all time, I think Denzel, I think Hanks, right? Tom Hanks, Denzel. Sure, I'll give Marlon Brando, like, a
So
nod.
maybe then he's not heading into that category. I see him in like a Leo mold, I guess. That's I see him going that
I see him
way.
falling just short of Leo. I think he's in the trajectory. I think he's in a Brad Pitt. I'd say he's
I
like a Brad Pitt, like,
I think
trajectory.
if you compare the first 10 years of Timothée Chalamet to the first 10 years of Leo, I think Chalamet's better. And that's not to mention, like, I've got a list of some records that Timothée Chalamet has set or broken. He's the youngest actor to be nominated for 2 Best Actors, but before he was 30. He was one of the first actors since John Travolta to have 2 films domestically gross over $200 million in a short period of time. His box office total of movies he's been in is over 3 billion. He was the first actor ever to star in 2 Best Picture nominees in the same year.
I
Like,
think he's
there's
done
a
great.
lot
I think he's done
about
a lot
him.
of really good stuff. I don't think when I think of, like, a great actor, when I'm like, "Oh, who do I want to play this role?" Like, when I think of the greatest actors, it's like, can they play any role? Can Timothée Chalamet play any role? I don't think so. Like, you know, and I know he's got his issues, like, and this is all subjective, right? I'd put Johnny Depp as one of the greatest of all time in terms of acting. I know he's got these other issues to worry about with Johnny Depp,
Mhm.
but in terms of, like, does this dude vanish into a role? Absolutely, right? What role can't Johnny Depp play? Because he's played Whitey Bulger, he's played Willy Wonka, he's played Jack Sparrow, he's played Edward Scissorhands, he played Gilbert Grape, he was in Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Johnny Depp
But I
really runs the
think
gamut. Now,
Johnny Depp is like overtaking all of those roles. And I think Timothée Chalamet, like he's not that kind of actor, and maybe he will be in time. He's not there yet, and maybe that's like his skill that needs to develop, but they're just like they're different molds of actors because he like sinks into a role, whereas I feel like Johnny Depp like
you know what he
steps
does?
in
And
and
I
steps up.
think
I don't know.
yeah, Seth oh, not Seth, Jake and I have talked about this quite a bit, and now you've been brought in on this conversation too, of when I watch Timothée Chalamet acting, I go, "Wow, that guy's acting really well." But I'm very aware that he's acting. He
Yeah.
doesn't vanish to me. Now
No.
Denzel vanishes. Denzel is whoever he says he is. Tom Hanks is whoever he says he is.
While I do understand fully where you're coming from here, I mean, if we're looking at, again, Chalamet being 29, 30, like Johnny Depp's first role that I think we can all agree he absolutely killed it in Edward Scissorhands. That was when he was 27.
What about when he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Was that before or after?
That was after. That was when
What
he
about
was
Fear and
30.
Loathing? Fear and Loathing?
Fear and Loathing
That was
was
after.
also after.
But, like, those are the things that I'm listing that, like, and I listen, I like a good Oscar win as much as the next guy, but Anna Paquin has an Oscar, so I can't, like, quite, like, just slap Oscars on, like, everybody and be like, "That means you're the best actor." Like, you did a good job, but Anna Paquin has one, and, like, that's bothersome, right? Like, we've all realistically, like, the Oscars have a weird history of, like, like, Cynthia Erivo should have won this year, and so should Ariana Grande. They both should have walked away with Oscars this
And
year.
Leo should have won way before he
Leo
did.
should have
You're
won
not
way
wrong.
won on a movie he
The
didn't deserve to
Oscars
win.
are
Yeah.
screwed up,
Leo won
but
on a movie he didn't deserve to win on. He should have won for, like, Django or Shutter Island or whatever, right? The Departed. Like, he should have won for other things than what he won for. So sometimes the Academy to me has a problem. I would say I'd put Timothée Chalamet in the category of actors who are, like, very good. Um,
And again, I agree he's not there yet, but at the same age, Johnny Depp really wasn't either.
I guess
His
so. I guess
the
that's true.
filmography Johnny Depp had done by the time he was 29 years old, Nightmare on Elm Street, Private Resort, a small role in Platoon, Crybaby, Edward Scissorhands, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare and that was a cameo role. Like,
Mm.
if we're talking film, it's hard. You're going to be hard pressed to find a guy who's been as successful as Chalamet has from the ages of essentially 20 to 30.
Yeah, he did have a great decade. He had a great decade. I'm curious how his
wasn't
career
even
is going
the full
to
decade.
I wonder how his staying power is gonna be when he kinda loses that, like, boyish charm a bit, like, that look,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
like if you go to what I think most people our generation probably when they first really came to know Johnny Depp, you would say more than likely is like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like
Yeah.
that's when he
That
got
put
really
him
like
really on the
thrust.
map.
That was when he was 40.
Yeah.
Like Chalamet's got time.
He's got time, but he's gotta figure it out. He's gotta figure out what he's gonna be. He's gotta figure out what he's gonna be. I think he has to pick a trajectory and, like, stick to it hard.